going to give you some things that sometimes are helpful. Humans like the feeling of momentum, and sometimes will choose negative momentum over positive, slower momentum. In other words, you can be on a high-flying disc and feel peaceful and there's not a lot of momentum on it. Or you can be on a low-flying disc and feeling agitated and there's more momentum. And most people are drawn to momentum because you can feel the power in it. And we say step 4 is engaging the power and the frequency. The momentum and the frequency in combination is what that high-flying disc brings you, you see. Don't you like knowing that? So you're just sort of jockeying for position. You're just kind of paying attention to how you feel. We want you to be in that place where you are appreciating all people, because it's the only mindset that will ever give you complete freedom. As long as there are people around that are controlling the way you feel by your practice thought about them. Now that was a really tricky way. It's like they're controlling how I feel because of the way I've practiced thinking about them. So most people really need people to behave differently so that they can feel differently. But when your quest is to love them all because you are a lover, then in many cases you got to be really general. You got to be so general that they're not active in your experience, because there are a lot of people, if they get up close to you in their nowness, it'd be very difficult for you to appreciate them with the behavior that they're now offering. But you don't have to test yourself like that, you see. The way you come to loving all people is by finding someone who's lovable and focusing upon them. And let the lovable ones help you train your vibration. So what keeps people from doing that? Why do you use your noses to smell awful things? You say, oh, this tastes awful, try this. You go to great lengths to try to explain the bad experiences that you've had, as if you want to share them with others. And we say, you really don't want to, and you don't want to repeat them in your own experience either. So what have we been talking about all day today? You have control of what comes to you, but you got to get control, and you got to get it early on. And so we just start waking up and getting control and watching what happens, and waking up and getting control and watching what happens, until we are so practiced in the thoughts that we think that then we can begin to acknowledge things are really good around me, because, not accidentally. I don't feel good because accidental things are coming around me that make me feel good. I'm feeling good because I choose to feel good, and now more things that feel good are coming around me. So I want to love everybody in the world. I want to love everybody in the world. Just start with that one, because you can't focus on everybody in the world all at once anyway. That's like the story of the lightboard that we were talking about. So there you are, all lighted up. This is going to lead to something really good, so hang in here with us. So here you are a light on the lightboard, and you're feeling really good. And so other lights that are at the frequency and at the momentum of that which you are light up to, and that represents your world. Do you really find it necessary to understand or to control or to change the other unlighted lights on your board? Here's the most important thing about this light board. Are you getting the concept of it? Do you like it? Is it helpful? Here's the most important thing about it. We're talking about you lighted up, and therefore what you see. Other people on the board are lighted up differently, and the others that are lighted up with them, they can see them, you just can't. In other words, those other lights aren't out, they're just lighted differently than your lights. So when you say, I want to love all of them, we say, we think that's fine, but do you need to understand all of them? And if you did, if you focused on all of them, what do you think would happen to your light? That's the big question. Well, chances are they're lighted in a different way. Now you've got your nose in their business. You're focused upon them because you want to love them, but they're different than you are, and now you're lighting with them, and in that alignment with that, you've lost your connection with who you really are. You see what we're getting at? So it's really a bold statement to say, I want to love everything. We would just say, I want to love. And I want so much to love that I've tuned myself to the vibration of love, and now things that are easy to love are flowing into my experience. And not get into that place where you're nitpicking over what's lovable and what's unlovable, because that will take you to a different lighted board, and it will give you different experiences every time. So now, let's go back to your statement. I want to love everyone. And we say, aren't you really saying, I just want to love? I want to love? Are you saying, I want to love the unlovable? I want to love the unlovable? I want to love the unlovable. What does that statement do to your frequency? Challenges it, because you introduced unlovable into the equation, and now you're not on that high-flying disc anymore. In some ways, we're making this all more complicated than it needs to be. So let's start over. You are a vibrational being in a vibrational universe, and the source within you is vibrating at a very high frequency with no resistance. And when you get in the proximity of that, in the vicinity of that, or in full immersion of that, so that you're feeling the resonance of that, you are at your best feeling and most thriving. So the hurdle that we have to overcome with so many of our physical humans is we have to convince you that it's not only all right to feel good, and it's not only normal to feel good, but that it is not mandatory, but that it is what you predominantly are wanting. That everything is about the way you feel, and you have control over the way you feel. Just got to practice it. We want to remind you that the desire that you hold as you point yourself in the direction of this gathering is a very powerful energy that actually is the momentum of the wave that we were talking about earlier. Your desire that you were born with, and your desire that you've goosed up through your interaction here in this life experience, has created a very powerful current, a wave that is relentless, that will just keep coming and coming and coming. So there's no urgency ever. It's not like you're ever going to have any long-standing opportunity to miss this boat, to miss this wave. It is a certain thing. We can say to you, especially to those of you who are gathered here today, that the desire that you have held for a long time, and the current that has amassed as a result of that, and the willingness to participate and allow your thoughts to be guided and influenced a bit by us, and your subsequent willingness to guide your own thoughts based upon how you feel. The new seed that was not planted within you today, but we felt it come into a stronger position, so it's blossoming in a stronger way, and you're going to feel the evidence of it as you're moving through your days in the immediate days to follow. You are in a place, and we can say this bluntly and with certainty, you are in a place of understanding the importance of the way you feel like you have never felt it before. And you are a body of people who understand it like no body of people on the planet have understood it before. In other words, you now get it. We felt you get it. We knew you get it. We were there when you got it. We reveled when you got it. We are milking the fact that you did get it. We are exhilarated that you got it. We are renewed because you got it. You now understand the importance of the way you feel. And you now understand that everything in your world and all of your physical senses are all about your ability to define in visceral, literal, physical ways what life really is. It's a feeling experience because it's a vibrational experience. So you've done something that most never do. You have moved your experience from thinking into feeling, which means from thought into vibration. Now, thought is vibration, but you are now doing it in a way that is more refined. It will be easier for you than it has ever been before. You don't know it, but you've taken a quantum leap forward. You're not really understanding it yet because the 30 days haven't passed. You're not really getting what we're getting or what you helped us get because you have not been residing on that high-flying disc long enough for you to really understand the magnitude of what has taken place here. But it is our promise to you, if you will go to bed tonight and say, in the morning I'm going to wake up and it's going to be a fresh start, and while I slept the momentum has stopped, and I can start the momentum any way I want to, and I choose to start it in this attitude of appreciation. And you do it, and you might not make it far into the day, but the next day you do it again, and you might not make it far into the day, but you do it, and you do it, and you do it, and you do it, and you do it. It is our promise to you that within 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 or 70 or 80 or 90 days, you will be standing in the place of knowing what we know. And the reason we know it is because we went over there. You're still over here, but we went over here. We have stepped into what you want to call your future experience, and we've felt the full resonance of it. And because we can feel the momentum of the energy that has taken place in each and every one of you, we can predict unequivocally, without error, what's going to happen in your experience. We've been there, you see. So for you, that's a little bit taking it on faith. We don't want you to ever have to, for very long, let's say that in a better way. We don't want you for very long to have to continue to take things on faith. We want you to have enough experience under your belt, because this stuff is consistent. You know it a little bit about that, you know it a little bit about everything. You know it a little more about that, you know it a little more about everything. You find vibrational resonance with who you are on that subject, you can find vibrational resonance with who you are on every subject. There is nothing that you cannot be or do or have. There is nothing that is off limits to you. And the step 4 part of this equation is you are now in a position where you can begin to define with more clarity than you've ever defined before, and with more confidence than you've ever been able to muster before, an understanding that you can reach for things that you have previously not even allowed yourself or given yourself permission to reach for. You have the ability to cast peace upon this earth. You have the ability to help those who are not eating find food. You have the ability to help your planet in all ways that you have currently been worrying about it. You have the ability to help those who are feeling insecure find their feelings of more security. There isn't anything that you've ever wanted. You have the ability to have that vehicle that you want. You have the ability to live in that dream house or to find that partner that you've been looking for. There is nothing that is off limits for you. You just don't know it the way we know it, but you're going to know it the way we know it, because the fact that we know it means that you have the ability to know it, and now you know the other stuff that you didn't know before that you now know. Now you're going to know that too. But once you start deliberately being in that high-flying place and recognizing that you are, and deliberately thinking thoughts that hold you there, then you can relax as you are doing in a sort of reasonable assumption that everyone with whom you're interacting is meeting you on that level. So 2 things happen. First, your point of attraction is already in place, but your conscious, focused expectation is there too. Esther has been saying to a friend, I feel step 4 coming. I can feel that Abraham's going to start talking about step 4, because step 1 is sift through the contrast and come to an asking, a desire. Step 2 is source and law of attraction, gather all of the cooperative components in this, what we've been calling a vortex, which you may or may not have access to depending upon what you're doing vibrationally. And step 3 is adjust your vibration to make sure that you are in resonance with what you are asking for. So now that you are beginning to hang around on that high-flying disc deliberately, Esther is saying, I'm becoming a sort of vibrational snob. And she doesn't mean that she doesn't want to hang around with other people. She means she doesn't want to hang around with other thoughts. She wants to control the thoughts, because the thought of clarity is so much more life-giving than the thought of confusion. And she's just choosing that thought first, not always accomplishing it, but wanting it at all times. And so she's wondering what's next. So step 1 was sort of dealing with contrast. And step 2 is not my work, because law of attraction and source are dealing with all of that. And step 3 is my work, because I've got to tune myself. I'm the one that has to find the vibrational resonance. But then what? And we say, then you lay some new pipes. Then you think some new thoughts on purpose. Then you begin visualizing deliberately. Then you begin focusing. Then you begin utilizing this energy that you have amassed, that you can feel at your back. Then you begin deliberately directing that energy. Of course, being aware at all times about when you start to take a little dip and then not doing it. When you might start to take a little dip and then not doing it. Yeah. There is great love here for you. Be playful about it. Go do something fun today. Don't try to explain any of this to anybody. And as always, we remain in your vortex.